Video. Today I'm going over a deep dive into the 2024 elections. This one is on the United States Senate election in the state of Wyoming. The state of Wyoming, its Senate voting history: in 2020, the Republican candidate won the race by 45% margin of victory. In 2018, the incumbent that is currently up in 2024 won his race by 36.9%. And then in 2014, the then Republican incumbent senator won the race by 54.7%. As for the current polling average right now, we do not currently have any polling data out of the state of Wyoming, so we cannot factor polling data into our equation for finding out who will win this race, but there are other factors we can use to predict this race as well. Now for how the nation as a whole voted in these different Senate elections. In 2020, across the nation, Republicans had a margin of victory at 2.3% across the nation, meaning like a popular vote of 2.3% more Republican. In 2018, it was a Democrat 19.9% win for the Democrats in the national Senate vote. And in 2014, a 7.7% national Republican vote. For the 2024 election, the generic congressional vote right now is 1.4%. And for the Wyoming Senate poll average right now, again, we do not have any polling data to go off of that, so we cannot factor that into our final analysis of this Senate race. So when you compare how Wyoming voted in these elections and you compare the national vote, in 2020, Wyoming voted 42.7% more Republican than the nation as a whole. In 2018, Wyoming voted 56.8% more Republican than the nation as a whole. And in 2014, Wyoming voted 47% more Republican than the nation as a whole, leading an average popular vote difference of 48.3% of the vote. Wyoming, across the last three elections, has voted 48.3% more than the nation when it comes to these Senate races. Now for some forecasts for the 2024 Wyoming Senate race. Real Clear Politics has this race as solid Republican. Sabado's Crystal Ball has it as safe Republican. Inside Elections has it as solid Republican. Decision Desk HQ in the Hill has it as safe Republican. And Cook Political Report has it as solid Republican. The two candidates that are facing off in this election is the Republican incumbent Senator John Barasso and Democratic challenger Scott Morrow. Some counties in Wyoming I'm watching for: Albany County, one of the counties in the state of Wyoming that has gone back and forth in the last three elections. There really aren't any other counties in the state that have done this that much, so this is the only county we really have to go off of. In 2014, the Republican won the county by 22.7%. Lots of third-party vote in that one as well. In 2018, the Democrat won that county by 8.4%. And then in 2020, the Republican candidate won that county by 1%. Very, very close in 2020. Definitely an interesting one I'm watching for. In Teton County, it was 14.8% win for the Republican in 2014. Again, lots of third-party vote. 2018, it was 32.9% win for the Democrat and 25.4% win in 2020 for the Democrat. Laramie County, home to the capital of Wyoming, Cheyenne, in 2014 voted 46.8% for the Republican, 22.4% in 2018, and 32% in 2020. Natrona County, Republicans won it in 2014 by 52.3%, and then voted by 37.2% in 2018 and 46.2% in 2020. Campbell County, it voted in 2014 77.2% for the Republican, 72% in 2018, and 79.4% in 2020. A very big Republican county, one of the three largest counties by population in the state, with Laramie, Natrona, and of course Campbell. Looking at some of these elections now on the state map, in 2020, Leominster, the Republican, went up against Ben David, the Democrat. As you can see, some of the counties I just showed you: Natrona, 73.1, 26.9, Tefton, 62.7, 37.3, Campbell, 89.7, 10.3, Albany, 50.5, 49.5, and Laramie County, 66 to 34. Looking at 2018, John Barasso, the Republican, versus Trauner, the Democrat, 67.1 to 30.1 across the state. Teton was 65.5, 32.6 for the Republican. Natrona was 67 to 29.8 in favor of the Republican. Campbell, 84.5 to 12.5 for the Republican. Albany, 52.7, 44.3 for the Democrat. And Laramie County, 59.8 to 37.4 for the Democrat. Lastly, in 2014, we have NZ, the Republican incumbent, against Hardy, the Democrat. The Republican got 72.3%, Democrat 17% statewide. Teton County voted 54.5% for the Republican, 39.7% for the Democrat. Natrona 68.4, 16.1 Republican Democrat. Laramie 68.4, 21.6. Albany 55.1, 32.4. And Campbell 83.9 to 6.7. An absolute blowout of an election. Every single county went for the Republican senator. As for the Republican side of the vote for Wyoming across the last 3 Senate elections, in 2020, the Republican candidate got 73.1%. 2018, the Republican got 67.1%. And in 2014, the Republican got 72.3%. Conducting a range equation, we find that on the low end, the Republican would get 61.1%. On the high end, the Republican would get 79.1%. Barring a complete unexpected surprise and polling miss on election night, we fully expect the 2024 Republican election totals will fall somewhere between 61.1 and 79.1. The average vote percentage across the last 3 elections for the Republican is 70.8%. That is the average of the last 3. For the Democrats, in 2020, the Democratic candidate got 26.9. 2018, the Democratic candidate got 30.1. And in 2014, the Democrat got 17.6. Conducting another range equation, a very large difference between the highest and lowest total on this one. On the low end, 5.1% for the Democrats, but a higher one on the high end at 42.6%. Again, almost 100% sure the numbers will fall somewhere between these two numbers on election night. The average vote percentage of the last 3 elections for the Democrats in Wyoming have been 24.9% of the vote. Now, for my prediction for the state of Wyoming, I have the Republican John Barasso getting 70.8% of the vote to Scott Morrow's 24.9% of the vote. I think the averages across these last 3 elections are going to be pretty close to as accurate as possible. Barasso 70.8, Morrow 24.9, a margin of victory of 45.9, and another Senate seat won by the Republican incumbent. Looking at the 2024 Senate map, we now have 3 states filled in for the Democrats: Washington, California, and Hawaii, and 2 for the Republicans, Wyoming, and a flip in the state of Montana, Tim Sheehy defeating Democratic incumbent John Tester. This has the Republicans at 40, Democrats at 31, with a lot more Senate seats left to do leading up until Election Day. That will do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to give it a like. And if you really liked it, please remember to click the subscribe button. And make sure you turn post notifications on so you always get notified when I post a new video. That way you never miss one. Also, please remember to share this video with your friends and family if you really like the video. And remember to stay tuned because I'll be posting at least one video every single day leading up until Election Day, so I'd really appreciate it if you keep coming back and watching those videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in a future video.